DC here. Hi guys and gals. Well, I'm out walking, yes, and as you can see it's slightly colder, just slightly. Actually, I think it's warmed up enough that I can pull this off, but it was in sub-zero Celsius, so that's just freezing. I've been walking with my walking sticks. Some places it's slippery, so I've noticed that when I walk with them, especially since there's the metal ends, I just kind of go through it and don't worry about the slippery part. The other thing is, actually, if you put them high enough, you propel yourself along because you are actually using the strength of your arms. So yeah, it's pretty cool. New way of walking, I guess. So as you can see, that direction, that's not the Alp direction, but there are some hills in that direction. In the Alp direction, which is over there, it's snowing right now, so we can't see anything. So yeah, it's kind of nice. People are really frustrated though because the snow came after the Christmas break. So a lot of people from other countries came over, and so the ski centers did not have that much snow, and the lower ski centers really had almost none. So people had to get used to doing other things like taking a walk or stuff like that. Anyway, I read in the newspaper today, I think it was the Daily Telegraph, which is a UK paper, there was I saw it as a quick article saying that to people, if there's not enough snow in the Alps, go to this destination. Great food, friendly people, and so on. And it was in Norway. And Norway this year has never had any more snow. So I guess so much for climate change over there. They've had, more or less record amounts of snow. And so much so that the ski centers are having problems making good trails, supposedly. But they were saying that the food is good, everybody speaks English. It's true that the Scandinavians are very good with languages. I've noticed that by working there a few times. Actually, with many groups in Scandinavia, that their practice of English is very good. One of the reasons is that they don't translate movies. They have it with subtitles, so they basically learn it from TV in a large part. But the flip side is that alcohol is very, very expensive. And what were they saying? Overall prices are very expensive. Norway is one of the most expensive countries in the world. In that respect, at least, if not more, than Switzerland. And for stuff like alcohol, way more. They were saying that a pint of beer was £7.50. I don't know how much that is, but it's a heck of a lot. It's probably something like $10. I don't know. I would expect it's around that range. Mind you, I've paid €7 something in a fancy pub in Dublin, but then again it was a tourist trap, but I knew I was going to pay that much. Yeah, so let me see. Oh, nice. There's some people also walking with the walking sticks behind me. I've noticed actually I was almost going to say it's a woman thing. I'm being very sexist here, but there's a lot of women that are out walking today with their walking sticks. And the only other man I've met was an old man, a really old man, not old like me, a really old man who uses them all year round, but he walks a lot. So good for him. Yeah, so I guess that when I read that, it was, for me, kind of amusing because I was thinking talking about the Norway thing, is that it's been known for years, and I wonder if the Norwegians are going to be so happy. I mean, tourism is one thing, but talk to people from any country or any region where they're flooded with tourists, and there's really mixed reviews on that. I think, you know, a lot of people, oh, bit of logger ditch there. A lot of people aren't so keen. I mean, you go to the really, really touristy places, and tourists are, you know, as they would say, we need them to survive, but that's about it. We don't have to like them. I've heard that kind of thing more than once. Yeah. Well, I guess that's one of the advantages of living in the plain in Switzerland. There's really not so many tourists coming through here, which is kind of nice, actually. I know it because when you are up in the mountains and it's overpopulated and you're, you know, like your town's being taken over. I lived in a small town in Canada called Sutton. I think the ladies are catching up with me. I lived in a small town in Canada called Sutton, which had its own ski center. And when winter came, it is true that the center of the town was just basically taken over. It was pretty incredible, actually. You know, you really did not enjoy. Yeah, that's what I said. They've been behind me for a while, but I slowed down on vlogging, so they took over. That's all right. I'll let them go ahead. It'll make them feel good. Yeah, and like I was getting back to the, you know, I remember comments even when I was a kid, and it was people from Montreal, the city people, who would come in and take over our town in that period. Well, yeah, people liked it so much. I had a small email chat with someone, not email, actually a Facebook Messenger chat with a person that I had seen that used to live. He was in my brother's class. And as he mentioned, but I knew that from other sources, is that my hometown, Sutton, is basically being taken over by artists and people who are either doing early retirement, or, like I say, artists that have decided to move into the town. And many people have said it's just not the same. It has finally been taken over by the tourists that came and decided that it was where they wanted to spend part of their life. I kind of get that. Although, now I'm following up on this, is that I know quite a few people from Canada that go down to Florida just for winter because they want to get away from the snow, but most of them come back because it's not their way of living. I mean, it's not what you're used to. I knew a guy who who'd gone for many years. Every time it was his vacation, he'd go to Bali in Asia and said, I'm planning my retirement and I go all my vacations and I want to go there. And when he retired, he went and he stayed in Bali for, I think he stayed 2 months, and they moved back. They just couldn't take it. It was not vacation anymore. Yeah, anyway. Those of you who've moved know what I'm talking about. We emigrated, left Canada, and now we're here in Switzerland, and I am Swiss now. There's absolutely, well, and really Swiss, and in my head as well. I would not want to move back. Have you gone through things like that, or would you want to move back? You know, tell me about it. Okay, LBDC signing off. Take care, everybody. Have a good Wednesday. Bye-bye.